So I told them already, like 9 years ago, I read this article about the behavior bank, and I told them also, and like I mentioned that you're helping in a way with the first step, which would be like this minimum viable product, for like how readily available is this idea, and like how useful is it to a community out there. I've been slacking on a few different ways, like building a business and getting those
life
things going.
happens. I get
It's
you.
insane. But I've got a few exciting things. So we already did a call to action with saying who could help out with like the entry of the data, because you helped us set up what that is.
It seems like you've got some good people slotted.
We've got some people slotted.
That's great.
We've actually got some folks as well on who are going to help with like figuring out the technical aspects as well.
Yeah.
We've got those situated. I want to share one real quick today, like who you are and why you think this idea is worth pursuing.
Okay, great. I think this idea is worth pursuing because I think we need to stop reinventing the wheel. If we have this slew of data and information where we can reliably say these accelerations produce X, slicing behaviors in this manner is beneficial, playing around with learning channels, playing around with more sensitive frequency aims, more like, so instead of it just being fast and producing one fluency outcome, we're solid that it produces all of those beautiful performance standard fluency outcomes that we're looking for. And that way we can say like reliably X produces this based on a slew of data with these topographies, with these learning histories and stuff like that. So many times, kids come, at least for our center, they come and the parents are like, well, how long is this gonna take?
Yeah.
And there's part of me that, I give an educated guess because of all of the behavior bank that's up here, right? But the thing is that it shouldn't have to take 10 years to establish that, right?
That was the whole idea of it in the first place. I was apparently handed some papers and people were saying, what is the best way that I can do X, Y, or Z? He's like, I'm sick of trying to like guess this stuff, riffle through like hundreds of charts, not know exactly what to say. And like, this is why I needed to happen. So just real quick, explain to folks, like in 1967 to 72, like this was attempted. It was attempted to the tune of like $3.5 million of like today's cash was invested in that time to try to make all this stuff happen. Everything was put on Scantrons and forms to be able to input it. We don't have to do that stuff anymore.
We have the technology.
Yes, the problem is like, how do you pull it all together? And what I realized really quickly with like what data, the examples you showed us was like, even not discrediting any of this.
No.
You take a center for 8 or 10 years that's working on producing really good outcomes. Like focus not trying to be the huge healthcare provider, trying to produce really good outcomes. If there's still a ton of data,
there's a lot of charts.
So the hassle of last year was figuring out how do you
even how to take one chart and put down, because there's not only are there a lot of charts, there's just a shit ton of data on one chart.
Yep, exactly. And the problem becomes like, can you use like, optical character recognition? Like, can you use OCR like they do to read books and text and like try to be able to pull that sort of stuff?
Right.
Still haven't found a solution for that. I work on the back, so like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, those are words I don't know.
But we work on the back end. I don't even tell you updates because it's just like, we found another program that like might work, but it doesn't. Like, we continue to
I know that you're gonna tell me when you get something big and good and we're able to move forward.
So where we're at, so I can like loop this together for folks. So where we're at is Kerri's got a center here in Reno, but also in Tampa. There's a lot of data. The question's been how do we get that into the right form? So we do that. I'm actually meeting on Wednesday next week in Denver, Boulder, with what is his name? Oh my gosh, Bill Hutchinson. He's been the one that's done a lot of like tech questions like this from a BA perspective. So trained formally in behavior analysis, but worked in the tech realm a lot. So we're hoping that we have the template set up correctly. Now it's time to just enter everything. We're doing one last check on that next week. Like,
great.
Is this the way to do it? And taking little behavior bank products and showing them those as well.
Perfect.
So that's, I guess, your weekly update on like what's going on. The vision is that you wouldn't have to answer and reiterate the wheel, right? And like you make the wheel over and over and over and over again. You just communicate that to parents, to stakeholders, funders, therapist, whoever.
And then like the implications of that are enormous. If you think about even traditional education or even like traditional therapy or something like that. You know, a lot of our charts are academic focused, but like take any sort of behavior and it's something that we can reliably predict that could transform everything.
Everything, yes, everything. The question is, why hasn't it been done? I think I know why. Because unit of analysis.
It's hard as hell.
It's hard as hell, but most people, like your Googles, your edX's, Coursera's, whoever, like they don't have the right unit of analysis, I think, or focus on measurement.
Yep.
And then the folks that do, I think, oftentimes get pressured by like the forces of capitalism. Like you need to make $1 instead of doing the thing that sets it up correctly in the first place. Yeah. So it's kind of the goal of the slow approach here is that you don't get tainted by the dollar and the hand of capitalism. Okay, cool. See y'all tomorrow with more updates, or next week.